So people seem to enjoy my other video on misconceptions about Pennywise that the movies have gotten wrong or that fans often get wrong because of the movies. And one I want to cover, there's three I want to cover that I didn't go over last time. So the first one is the claim that Pennywise cannot kill you if you are not afraid. This is absolutely false and is contradicted many times in the books and even in the shows. Actually, the Pennywise TV show has done this as well. You do not have to be afraid of Pennywise for Pennywise to kill you. As he words it himself, fear salts the meat, which is very uncomfortable to say. But not being afraid of Pennywise does not mean you will survive. Pennywise will kill anyone for any number of reasons, fear being the top one, but also if you inconvenience him, anger him, or even if he just feels like it, he can kill you. Fear is not a factor. Number two, I want to go over, and this is something that I've seen people ask about a little bit, and the book does cover this quite well. The movies have never touched on this, nor has the show, unless they get into it in the finale next episode for the Dairy Show, season one finale. Why does the U.S. government not come deal with Pennywise? Well, there's two answers for this. The first one is that, as stated in the books and the movies, the further you are from Derry, you tend to forget about Pennywise even if you knew about him. Now, this is expanded on a bit more in the book, but this is actually a discussion among the children, I believe, and they comment that the death toll and really the homicide toll in Derry is several times higher than any other city in the nation, and they ponder why the government has never, or the media has never drawn in on this. One thing to consider is that the book, it takes place in the 1980s. Obviously, we don't have social media. Things are a little less technologically advanced. I think people forget that important detail. But another important reason, as stated in the book, theorized more so, is that Pennywise simply doesn't want anyone to. If you come into Derry snooping around trying to figure out about the murders, Pennywise will just get you in a sphere of influence and possibly kill you if you become a problem. But it's stated in the novel that the reason why the outside world doesn't seem to pay attention to Derry is because Pennywise won't let them. Which is a really cool explanation, and it kind of makes sense when you consider that he is a cosmic entity that has a effect on the people in his vicinity. So like I said, even if someone outside of Derry came in to investigate, as soon as they enter Derry, they're in his area, they're exposed to Pennywise. They may forget why they were even there. He may just have them killed. And once again, if someone does come into Derry and they learn about the murders and then they leave, as I said it before, when you leave Derry, you tend to forget the details of Derry if you stay gone too long. This is why the outside world never really goes after Pennywise. And another reason, kind of expanding on that, and the third point I want to bring up, that is not really covered in the movies, but the book does, it's sort of implied in the movies, but the book does a much better job of explaining this. Derry is Pennywise. Pennywise is part and parcel to Derry. And literally, so the movies never did this. The novel does go into this. After the events of the part two, both movies, but in the book, I guess you could say, after Pennywise dies, there is a massive catastrophic flood almost immediately that destroys almost all of Derry. Which one you can look at as like a judgment, as like possibly a divine judgment, a cleansing of the city of its wickedness from Pennywise, but also it fits the narrative of Pennywise that every time Pennywise goes away or goes into a slumber, before he leaves, there's always this mass casualty event. The 1908, I think, was like the Derry Ironworks exploded. 1938, I think it was like a massacre at a bar or something. Or not, I don't really. And then there's the Black Spot. I think they changed the year of the Black Spot for the TV series, but there's these numbers of massacres or mass slaughters and mass casualty events, and it's interesting that after Pennywise dies, it's like there's one final mass death event when Derry is catastrophically flooded with no warning, and lots of people die, and a lot of the city is destroyed. But that's how much Pennywise influences Derry, that his death nearly destroys Derry. And the movies have never done this, which is, I understand why. It would be probably a lot more costly, and it feels like it's unnecessary, and they want to end on a more cheerful note. But like, the death of Pennywise is not a quiet disappears and everything is good thing. Far more people die as a result of Pennywise dying, because the entire foundation of Derry is pretty much destroyed, because he was there before Derry existed. he was literally among the foundations of Derry, and his death undoes Derry. So, hope you guys found that interesting. Carried on a little longer than I wanted to, but 3 more misconceptions about Pennywise that maybe you didn't know. Hope you found this entertaining, and I plan to do more of these videos soon. And I'm excited for the It Welcome to Derry season finale later in the week. I'm also terrified because it's rough out there on this show, y'all. It's rough.